from the City of Entertainment in the Las Vegas Arts District at the English Hotel, a place for the cultured renegade. This is April in Vegas with this week's special guest,
Elizabeth Diega,
Eddie Stancil,
plus Steve Dennis, and your host, April Brucker.
Steve, you okay?
Yep, just very excited about our first guest.
Is it the ghost of Eddie Van Halen? Okay. I think I got it. It's Elizabeth Diega from Queens of Rock. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm gonna stop before we both pull a muscle, Steve. But you don't have to set the world on fire.
No, I do not. However, our second special guest does. Not only is he helping to keep the American Songbook alive, but he should have his own chapter in it. And I'm talking about the bass baritone and leader of the world-famous Ink Spots, Eddie Coco Stancil.
And for Dummies on the Street, Monsieur Mortimer, everybody's favorite bright blue rougarou, is chatting it up with a puppeteer from the Netherlands. Only in Vegas, right?
And you know what else is only in Vegas? It's the pool at the English Hotel and our special guests. Let's go out there and meet them. It is an awesome day out by the pool here at the English Hotel in April. Special guest time.
Yes, folks, you may have seen her in Queens of Rock.
I've seen it.
You've seen it.
I love it.
You love it.
It's great.
And guess what? I'm going to hit you with my best shot. I'm going to fire away. Folks, it's Elizabeth Diega. What's up?
Hi, how are
Good
you
to
doing?
have you
Thank you very much for having me. Very happy to be here.
Thank you. And so I have to ask you, you went right from Quebec to Las Vegas. And it started in New York City with your mom, the Met, and Pat Benatar. Tell us that story.
Well, yes, I am from Montreal. When I was young, when I was a teenager, I was actually wanting to dance. And my mom was at the Metropolitan Opera singing, of course, with the big operas, Tosca and all that. And while I was there, I was into music, but when I saw the Pat Benatar video, it did a little bit of ringing in my head, like I could be doing this and not necessarily opera and following mom's footsteps, right?
Well, it's kind of like a rock opera. She spoke to that generation. So if you can translate that in what you do,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why you're all fired up. Because you believe there comes a time. Sorry, I love Pat.
That's
Everyone just
Falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. Okay.
A real Pat Benatar fan. And you know what? I learned that Pat Benatar's mom was also an opera singer.
Yeah, that's right.
So that is so funny.
Brooklyn,
and she was
yep.
into that also. She was trained classically.
Yes.
And finally changed to rock and roll.
Yeah, she was trained as a coloratura. That's right.
There you go. But I didn't train. I just went straight to rock and roll.
Because you're a superstar. And because Steve's a magic man, he's got a question for you.
You sing in 3 languages, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. How does that feel, and which is your favorite to sing, and which is the most beautiful?
Oh my God. Well, for rock and roll, of course, I just sing in English.
Right.
French is much more, feels more direct.
Yep.
English is more melodic, but Spanish is more romantic.
Exactly.
Very different languages, yeah.
And you opened up here in Vegas after COVID, and you were the only theater show on the Strip, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and so how was that experience?
It was out of this world, of course, because number one, just being in Vegas, I've had like a 35-year career back in Montreal, and we started coming to Vegas to see what was happening in 2015, because my producer, who was not my producer then, came to see my show in 2014 in Montreal and already envisioned, as soon as he saw it, he said, should be in Vegas. So we worked many years, started doing showcases at Sunset stations, and people would ask us, why don't you have a residency? So we went to see different theaters, and finally in 2019 we signed a residency, and in 2020 the world shut down. So we didn't know when I got here in August. We were set up to start in September, so it was pretty crazy because of course it was a 25 feet perimeter.
Yep.
People in masks.
Yep.
It was intense, you know. Me, I when you see the show, you'll see that I am intense from as soon as the curtain opens, and I like to communicate and look at everybody's eyes, and I could see their eyes, but you can't see their faces. It was very weird, but it was also surreal to be the only live show opened on the Strip.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And you have two bands here, one in Vegas and one in Montreal,
Yes.
right? And so so how does it feel to work with so many musicians?
I actually have one band in Montreal and one band here, but here I have many musicians. I have my main cast. It's amazing. I would say that the energy from the Vegas musicians is very different than, of course, you know, Las Vegas. This is really the capital, the show capital of the world. So the musicians that I chose are very also expressive and
Of course.
very much. Yeah.
Of
And you
course.
performed all over the world. Which is your favorite venue?
Oh, well, my favorite venue as an original artist, because I also had, oops, I think I crackled it there. I had original music out in the 90s and in the beginning of 2000.
Come on, Steve, you ought to know.
And I did the Montreal Jazz Festival with your original music in front of people that know nothing, and it was outside, and it was. But I think, as a creator, in another sense, not original music, but creating a show, to be here in Vegas, that's of course my favorite. Yeah.
And what's the weirdest or wildest show you've ever done?
Yeah, the weirdest.
Weirdest? It must have been in Kosovo.
Oh, wow.
In 1999.
Oh,
For the Canadian troops.
Okay.
It was weird because part of the public were people that were, I mean, of course the soldiers were very happy to have entertainment, but we had also people that had lived atrocities
Yes.
in the audience, so it was very weird. And yeah.
Was it like a CSO tour or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's great.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Wow.
It was one of the most gratifying experiences in my life, because you go help out people who miss entertainment and they need to talk to people also. Yeah, that was amazing.
Do you ever take requests on stage if someone yells out, Laura Branigan, Stevie Nicks?
Well, not on this show. When I used to play in bars many years ago, yes. But of course, a Vegas show or residency is a show that has projections. Everything is timed out, and it's 65 minutes, and it cannot, because there's other shows after us, right?
oh yeah.
So,
They don't. They're not very happy if you run over.
No, you can't. And sometimes I talk a little bit more because I like to say anecdotes and have, you know, a good rapport with the public. But I do sing in different events, and I guest star in stuff in Las Vegas.
So I guess the question is,
Yes.
because you portray Alanis Morissette in your show, right? Lady Gaga, obviously Pat Benatar, and Nancy Wilson from Heart, right?
Yeah.
So we can't go on, okay, without knowing what is next for Elizabeth Diaga. What is next for you?
Oh my God, I have not thought of that at all. Well, a little bit, but there's something with Queens of Rock that is a big plan for the future that I, of course, cannot talk about. Yes, because I like.
Oh, it's a secret, Steve.
Well,
It'll shock you.
it'll shock you.
But of course, I think what's next is to have the most people that we can have, and that the world opens up so that I can, you know, rock everybody up.
Because she wants to rock. You're awesome. I know. I love my music. I'm like, don't ask me to sing, but I know like the lyrics to a lot of stuff. But Steve and I both want to know. We're coming up with a question. Okay. All right. If you could do a duet with any 80s queen of rock and Hairspray was not an object, who would it be?
I would be Ann Wilson.
Ann
without a
Wilson?
doubt.
And can you say that in French now for us?
Que j'aimerais chanter avec Ann Wilson.
That's exactly what that's the way I would have said it.
But if a duet doesn't include another vocalist, if I could sing some hard songs with Nancy Wilson playing guitar,
Yep.
Ooh,
now
yes.
that is a very big dream of mine.
Fantastic.
Yes, or what do they say? These dreams.
Yes.
Also. Go on.
Go on.
When I close my
Folks, this has been great. Elizabeth Diaga, Queens of Rock, folks. You should go and see it. Where is it?
We're at the Mosaic on the Strip, right on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yes, go see her on the Strip on Las Vegas Boulevard. Steve, say it with me. Queens of Rock. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, girl.
Get one of those, and can I get one over there? There we
Yes,
go.
of course. Hi, I am here with Monsieur Mortimer, Bonjour, and Timothy from the Netherlands. And you have a question for Timothy. Yes, you are from the Netherlands, right?
Yes, I am.
Do you smoke the ganja?
I'm clean, so I don't smoke that, but I can tell you where to get it.
Oh, so the next question is, what is a cultured renegade?
Excuse me, what?
A cultured renegade.
I have no idea what you're saying.
A cultured renegade.
I don't know.
You speak English better than me. What is going on?
I have no clue.
Oh, so the next question is, you work with coquettes, right?
With puppets, yeah, I work with puppets.
So, are the coquettes in Las Vegas better than the coquettes in the Netherlands?
No, they're in the Netherlands right now. They didn't fit my suitcase, unfortunately.
Oh, they didn't fit your suitcase. So, can you tell your coquettes that I am waiting for them?
Yeah, I'll tell them you're waiting for them. Definitely.
Oh, so the next question, Timothy, is where did you get those sunglasses?
Oh, I got them in LA 2 weeks ago.
The same place where you got your ganja.
No, I didn't get it. I didn't get no ganja, I'm sorry.
So, Timothy, the next question is, who is better? American girls, Dutch girls, or French girls?
Ooh, that's a difficult question. Well, I always go by energy, so as long as I can kick a laugh with them, I like all of them.
Oh, you are my kind of man. Do you know what a rougarou is?
A what? A rougarou?
Yes, a rougarou.
No, I have no idea what that is.
I am a rougarou.
Okay, that's funny.
I am a mythical creature. On the count of three, look at the camera. Go. 1, 2, 3. Rougarou.
It is so toasty and warm and awesome out by the pool here at the English Hotel. April, who's our special guest.
Well, speaking of toasty and warm, I mean, it feels warm, but we don't want to set the world on fire because, folks, we have Eddie Stancil, the bass baritone and lead singer of, say it with me, Steve, the world-famous Ink Spots. So how are you doing today, Eddie?
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Just thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, able to be here with you guys.
Amen.
In the heat of the summer, and thank God for, is this a gazebo?
Yes. Yes, thank God for some.
One of the 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Exactly. And so I just want to say that, Steve, you've seen the Ink Spots perform many times, right?
Actually, they performed as almost a residency at the old Clarion Greek Isles, and big fan, great music, and it's timeless.
Timeless, and the show is delightful every time I see it. I always look forward to seeing the Ink Spots.
Thank you so much.
And I just want to say that when you were listening to records as a kid, did you, Eddie Coco Stancil, ever dream of becoming an Ink Spot?
No, I can't say I did. No. But I knew who the Ink Spots were. My mother was a music major, a pianist at the church, so we were exposed to all types of music from classical down to the gut bucket blues, if you know what gut bucket blues is.
And so how did you, Eddie Coco Stancil, start singing?
In church. I was
in
about
church.
3 years old.
Yes, because I've actually seen you sing gospel.
Yes, that was a spur of the moment thought of Mr. Woody Woods.
So from the Ink Spots perspective, I have a real hard-hitting question. Do you like coffee or do you like tea?
That is my favorite Ink Spot song.
and for anyone, Google it, look it up, YouTube it. I like coffee, I like tea.
Yeah, I love coffee.
Yeah. Okay, it's a coffee guy.
Good.
Yeah.
This is how we know we can trust you.
We've settled the question now.
Yes,
So.
exactly.
Well, just don't do like my dear predecessor Lou Ragland used to make a joke, Cutty Sark.
Spices up
Well,
the show.
at breakfast, I don't know if that goes
It's 5
too
o'clock
well.
somewhere in the world.
What is the craziest thing that has ever happened on a live show? And I know one because it happened at the Clarion, but
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it might be almost the same thing. Back before people performed with tracks, CD tracks, we did a show at Cimarron High School.
Okay.
The first segment went very well. The person in the booth hit play on the cassette, and everything rolled smooth. We changed uniforms, came out for the second show, and instead of starting the cassette at the beginning, he started in the middle.
Oh no!
And we did not know where we were.
Oh, and how did you make it through that live show?
We the best we could.
A lot of miming. So
And that was a tragedy, but we're still living. So.
But now we're talking about it, and it's a comedy, right? You know, time plus distance equals comedy, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yes. So.
And maybe one other time, and it might have been at your location. The sound system went out, and the music went out, and we just kept singing.
A cappella.
A cappella. And the people, to my surprise, they gave us a standing ovation.
Hey, I would have given you a standing ovation. I want to give you guys a standing ovation every time I see you guys.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, and so speaking of standing ovation, Steve, you know this guy is an authority, right?
He is a guest lecturer.
Yeah, during Black History Month, you know, several Ink Spot songs were trending on TikTok. I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire was one, and you gave a guest lecture at a university, right?
Yes, at Lane College. I was asked to speak to music students, voice students, about the history of the ink spots and things they need to look out and tips for the music business.
Wow, and so, you know, the Ink Spot song, I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire, is in Fall Out Boy. So, Eddie, I have to know, have you ever played Fall Out Boy, the video game?
You know, I must be honest. Probably my grandchildren have. I know about Minecraft.
Okay.
I know about. I have a grandson who's taking guitar lessons, and he wants to be Led Zeppelin or somebody like that. And I just try to encourage him to learn as much music as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ink Spots lives on. It's been around a couple different generations of Ink Spots. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about a musical career, and is this the path for them? Why is being part of the world famous Ink Spots that achievement that you're looking for?
Well, for me, just to give you a quick history, I came here in '85 with a group from St. Louis called Paperback and Company. In '89, there's a historical musician strike here. I don't know if you lived here. You here?
Did not, no.
But anyway, the musicians and singers did not fare well.
Oh, okay.
And my cohort who ran the group with me started singing with the Cornell Gunter's Coasters after Cornell's death.
Oh, yeah.
And I had developed a relationship with George Holmes. They used to have Monday night jazz at the Four Queens.
Okay.
And I would go down there. I lived on Fremont. I would walk down the street. I was off from the Union Plaza. I would go down there on Monday night, and the Horseshoe had $2 steaks after 10 p.m. So I'd go watch a little jazz, eat steak, come by, watch some more, and I would end up being there 2 or 3 hours just conversing with George Holmes. And he kept trying to get me in the group. And then finally, in '89 he called, but then that didn't work out. In 1990 he called, so I opened with them at the Four Queens and stayed with George Holmes until he passed in '93. In '94, Lou Ragland reformed the group, and I started with the Lou Ragland World Famous Ink Spots. And the rest is history, and Lou passed on, and so we got 2 new guys, still got Fleury Berset.
Yes, Fleury, yes.
Yeah, and he is still there and still doing good. And what a lot of people don't know about Fleury, he can write charts for orchestras, and he's our main arranger. And then we've got a new gentleman, Pernell Berry, who just coincidentally, he's been a friend of Lou Ragland's longer than I have, 40-some years. And then we got a gentleman named Alan Howard. And then I must mention, not just because he's sitting over there, but we have been blessed with not only good management, by Clinton Billups, but we've been blessed with Leon Carter and Derek Landers, our crew. They support us, whether it's setting up sound equipment. I'm going to be over here at the Hotel English. I'm going to be here. We got to be there. They are there for us 24/7.
And I just want to say that the Ink Spot sound, I mean, it has been around for a long time, and it has endured. Both sets of my grandparents loved the Ink Spots. The Ink Spots were featured in House Party.
Yep.
Why do you think it is that the Ink Spot sound and music like the Ink Spots continues to thrive on stage, screen, and in commercials?
To address both of your questions, you have to, if you want to be in music, you have to love the music business, because there's a zillion ups and downs.
Yes.
And we're sitting here by this beautiful hotel, and we've got this luxurious setting, but it is not what the magazines tell us, the glamour magazines. It's hard work.
Yes.
What makes it endure, I think, is over time, the voice of Bill Kinney, Hoppy Long doing the bass narrations, Charlie Fuqua on the guitar, Deke Watson with his style. And then over time, you go to the George Holmes and the Stanley Morgans. Then you go to the Lou Raglins. And if you ever want to see a singer that's outstanding, look for Ink Spots Las Vegas. And you'll see Lou Ragland's voice.
Yes, and he was.
And he was phenomenal. Now we're hoping to just continue the legacy with good singing, good performances, good clean music, and the appreciation of people like you guys that understand. And then you find that with these video games, I don't want to set the world on fire. Many songs like that, If I Didn't Care, etc., etc. I just found out that Gypsy was #1 for 13 straight weeks. 65 albums. The music is there.
That's right.
That's why on the back of your shirt you'll see, I think it says the music lives on or something like that. It's good, clean music.
Yes.
You don't have to cover your children's ears. You know, you don't have to hide, and it's nothing bad. And if you like Sanford and Son reruns, you just wait for Red Fox to put his ring on, grab his heart, and start singing. And would I be sure?
They're excellent. So thank you so much, Eddie, for coming today.
Thank you,
sir. We'll get you one
Thank you. And folks, check them out, because even though they don't want to set the world on fire, say it with me, Steve, they're setting the world on
fire.
Yes. Check
got
out
it.
the world famous Ink Spots. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Marvelous show today, April. Just want to know though, how are things back in Bethel Park?
Well, Steve, my mom had an emergency yesterday.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everything's okay.
Thanks, Steve. It was really stressful. She kept texting me in all caps. It's an emergency.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, I didn't think she could text.
You'd be surprised at how resourceful you become in an emergency, Steve. Otherwise, why would someone text those words?
Exactly. I mean, especially if they're all in caps.
That's what I said. So I tried calling her, and when she wouldn't pick up, I called my sister Skipper and my brother Wendell. Skipper's decided to try her, but Wendell said she was being melodramatic, which I thought really, really cold.
That is kind of cold considering how stressful that situation was.
That's what I said. So after 2 hours, I made a call to Father Lowenstein.
Father Lowenstein.
It's a long story. Anyway, I made a call, and the father and the chief of police went over to the house.
Wouldn't that be 2 calls?
No, 1 call, because the chief of police was at the father's bingo game.
Oh, okay. Well, was Mom all right?
Yes and no. You see, she left her phone in the car because she went to the Big Eagle supermarket.
Okay. Well, and then that was the problem.
No. When Father Lowenstein and the chief of police arrived, my dad was skinny dipping.
I sure hope that doesn't make the Bethel Park Gazette.
Funny you should mention that, Steve. You see, my mom had gotten 3 new pairs of glasses. She had a black tie event she was going to with my dad. So she needed help figuring out which pair of glasses went with her red dress, the red, the green, or the black. Not only was all of Bethel Park going to be there, but the Bethel Park Gazette was sending their photographer.
The horror. The horror.
Steve, you are even more unfeeling than my brother Wendell. But that's not even the best part.
It gets better.
Yeah, Skipper and I got her to go with the red glasses. Her photo ended up in the Bethel Park Gazette on the front cover of the Sunday magazine section.
Just say GLBB.
Gotta love Vegas, baby.
At the English Hotel. From the City of Entertainment, April in Vegas.